I wanted to upload this video because I haven't put out anything in a while and explain why. I started this adventure with the van saying that I wanted to do weekend trips and not travel full time. I mentioned in the Orlando Wekiva Springs video that it's really difficult to get a slot in a state park. I've since found that difficult doesn't begin to explain it. I put up a screenshot of the available slots at Wekiva Springs to show just how booked most parks are. So, to make a long story short, I haven't had any travel plans over the last couple of weeks because I haven't been able to travel. I have newfound respect for the people who do van life full time because it requires a lot of work and planning just to find a place to be for a day or even overnight, especially in the eastern parts of the country. Not to worry. I've accepted that I have to plan ahead and have booked several locations from late February out as far as April. So there will be exploring in the van. But what about in the meantime? And then it hit me. Life wants you to be one thing when in reality we are several things. And life traveling in the van is just one aspect of the life that is Sherry Mackenzie. So, while I'm waiting on some of the travel dates to roll around, I've decided to do some work revamping my backyard that will require the appearance of woodworking Sherry Mackenzie as well as gardening Sherry. And I'm going to take you along with me. Take a look at the backyard as it currently exists. The pergola and the sitting area are getaway places where I take a moment to collect my thoughts. Oh yes, and this is also where the van sits when I'm not on an adventure. But once I did look around, I realized I needed to add more visual interest by putting in some planters, creating a drinking container near the bird feeder, doing a little rehab on my raised garden bed to get ready for the spring garden, and finally to clear out the palmetto jungle. It made sense to start with one of the easiest jobs, clearing out the jungle. I have a reciprocating saw, and it should help clear out the palmettos that seem to be everywhere here in Florida. They are next to impossible to kill, so pruning is your only defense. Please send help if I'm never heard from again. And there you have it, boys and girls, a relatively clear jungle. I know it's not on the original list, but I like the spice carrier from the van so much that I decided to make one for the kitchen. And while I'm at it, try my hand at using dowel joints to hold it together. I've made the bottom and back, so I first need to outline the size of the holes for the dowel, and then use the Dremel tool to cut the holes. The advantage of dowels is that they create a stronger hold and provide visual interest to a wood piece. Once that was done, all that remains is to put in the front frame that will hold the spices in place. Of course, the rounding over of the rack edges. I told you, I'm addicted to that look. Well, what do you think? Now that all those jobs have been completed, I'd like you to keep the mental image of the backyard in your head, because creating 2 large planters will be the next episode while we wait for another traveling adventure.